Uh, what was your question?
So, better to define protraction and subtraction.
Okay. Basically, good point. Basically, what is happening in protraction is because of space and time, space, time, and gravity altogether same. They are regenerating, recreating themselves. So therefore, if we have one, like, let's say this is a space, they are popping up, which is like in quantum world, it happens also to certain particles.
Created.
Yes.
Yeah. Creating and destructing.
They're creating more. And they are shifting each other away all the time. And that's why time is passing. They are always, because they are time elements too. They are not just space. They are not particles. They are responsible to keep the time. And they are creating all the time in all directions. But anyway, they are getting more and more and more. Therefore, the time always moving forward. Okay? Because they are creating more time and more time and more time. If one day they stop creating, the time will stop. You follow me? If one day they stop regenerating, the time will stop.
In space also
Will stop.
Expansion
will stop. But expansion of space and time are same thing. And for sure, a space also is expanding in one direction. It's just getting bigger and bigger. It never gets shrink.
So you are like bricks of the building, you say.
Exactly. So that's why time always is moving forward, and space is moving forward too.
In other direction.
In different directions.
Okay.
So time also is doing the same. You follow me? Universe is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The time also is moving forward and forward and forward by this law. So it is very simple to say what is happening in time and space. Now, this is protraction. Now, what is happening in subtraction? In subtraction, we destroy something here as the mass. I'm doing that all the time.
Mass destroy.
Mass destroys, matter destroys. Whatever has mass destroys the fabricas. Okay, we can actually discuss about this like in more details. What can destroy fabricas? But definitely we destroy as matter.
How?
And how destroys and how like subtracting it. What is happening? First of all, I will lose my space. Therefore, gravity happens. I'm always falling because the space is losing. You understand? I'm losing the space. Therefore, I'm always falling down.
No support.
Yes, like that is how gravity works. That is what is gravity. And that is what fails in GR, and for sure Newton's idea of gravity, both to define the gravity. Gravity is losing the space. It's not a force. Okay? I'm always losing space. Now, also I will lose time because these are same thing. So basically, if I'm losing fabricas all the time, I'm consuming it. Therefore, in matter, like as matter, I'm also destroying time. When I'm destroying time, basically I will have
Slow down.
the time.
Watch.
But I cannot destroy that much of matter and time if I destroy that much of matter and time, like space and time, fabricas, that I stop the clock. That is black hole. That is why in the black hole, GR kind of predicts that time stops completely. Because it is according, again, it consumes so much space and so much time consumes so much that even time cannot pass and space cannot pass.
So there's no space time.
There's no space-time there. Still, we can count on some things that GR cannot addressed with the normal curvature in black hole. Like losing the information. In this theory, there is no loss of losing of information. You are not losing information because there is a whole dilemma behind what is happening in black hole. If we consider black hole as one of the largest consumers of fabricas, then we can actually address a lot of problems that created by GR around the black hole.
Black hole here would be what? The great lack of fabricas.
Okay, basically black hole is a massive object, massive dense object for sure, is the best consumer of fabricas. So therefore, from every point, it starts to consume fabricas. And what will happen? For sure, because it consumes so much, the time and space cannot account for it because it consumes the whole. Like when there is no fabrica or you destroy all of the balloons, you cannot pass the time. That's why it's
strong magnet.
Yes, but there is yes, exactly. That's the problem that I have in GR about center of black hole. In center of black hole in GR, the gravity is 0. That's the fun part. Center of black hole, gravity, like any massive object, center of a massive object, gravity is 0. And the time passes. That is the fun part about GR. In GR says, in center of black hole, time passes, but in the event horizon or surface of the black hole, the time doesn't pass.
Stops.
Which is a very big problem with GR and black holes. In center of black hole, time doesn't pass.
Stops, yeah.
Like logically, let's think logically for sure. But in GR says, center of black hole, time can pass. Because gravity is 0. And when gravity is 0, the equation of time dilation is not working. That's why when we look at that GR formula for time dilation, it works in 99.9% of the cases. Exactly like Newton gravity, which works in 99.9% of the cases. And that 1% addressed by GR. Now we are trying to address that 1% which is not addressed by GR. The galaxies, why they are so fast, without getting torn apart, and what happened to expansion of the universe, what is dark energy and dark matter, and therefore we can actually account all of the things that basically are missing. You feel good about this?
I have to think about
Okay. Okay.
It gives some picture, but experimentally it has to be.
Probably, actually, it is very easy. Like they said, graviton, fighting graviton is gonna be a hell of journey for sure. But testing it is gonna be very easy. They just need to send a clock to somewhere, like under surface of Earth, and that's it.
And see that
The calculation of GR and calculation of us, calculation of quantum traction code. We can actually create the formula, and then we can actually compare. Because in GR, definitely the time will be faster in under the surface of Earth, because G is less.
Getting less.
Yeah, sure.
So what should go faster?
Yes. In GR says faster, the clock, and in this theory says slower. Because we are in between more mass and like more basically subtraction of fabricas happens, therefore testing the theory will be extremely easy.
So it's like fluid of fabricas.
Yes, all the time. And that is gravity. That's why we cannot call it force.
So it's like a micro particles, fabricas are particles flowing.
I'm hesitating to call it particle because particles,
size.
They have certain, first of all, they have certain size. We can call it like this Planck cube. We can calculate, what should be the basic size of. But particles, they have spin, they have charge, they have this and this, like a lot of things that we are define. And in particles, they are under the influence of time. Fabricas are responsible for time. You know what I'm talking about? Like, fabricas are creating the time. But particles are under influence of the time anyway. Like when we have like quantum theory, we have T always influencing the whole equation. T is ruling the equation. But in Fabrica, they are responsible for passing the time and expansion of the space.
Like they bring size, they bring with them time.
Yes. And we should say time we're passing differently if we want to observe the past 4 billion years ago. This is one of the other predictions of this theory. That time was a different thing 4 billion years ago, and suddenly things changed. So time is accelerating.
What was
like
a different speed?
For sure, we cannot understand because we are all in this framework. We cannot understand because if all of our watches are like passing faster and faster and accelerating, which is accelerating, we cannot understand it. Because all of us, we are part of this framework. Unless we have an observer out of this universe, which is
From the past.
or from the past, yes, or from the future. And that observer can transfer the information to us, which is, I don't know what, like at this moment we can talk about it, but still we are all part of this framework, therefore there is no way to understand it, but we can predict it, that is happening actually, because expansion of space and time is happening, and therefore acceleration of time also is happening. Like basically time is getting slower and slower.
Because gravity is
It cannot overcome, or we
getting
can,
more, yeah?
yes, gravity, the
Number of fabricas
that
getting more.
destroy getting more, and basically gravity cannot eat it up all. Cannot. Question?
Not of them. I have to think.
Okay, good. Okay, we are gonna publish this on YouTube as a video blog today. And do you want to be in the video? Okay. I knew that even my assistants are gonna actually hide themselves because this is too sometimes stupid to be part of, huh? It's not stupid. Kirsten, do you want to be part of the video? Okay. Then stop. Thank you.